So Josh Gibson and the Negro League's numbers are now going to be officially acknowledged by Major League Baseball. And Josh Gibson and now will have the highest on base percentage over Barry Bonds, which they will acknowledge. So if they're going to do that, won't they pay a pension to their family? Won't they really properly acknowledge them? NBA, ABA, when you do these things, you have to acknowledge the hard hitting truths. The hardcore facts is how racist Major League Baseball was and still is, and I stay still is. Because it's one of the lowest times they don't hardly have that many black African American players, but they choose to get Dominican brothers and people from overseas. But they don't bring in American based African American players. It is a job. Once we get past the entertainment aspect of it, it is a job. And you do got to kind of wonder. So if they're going to acknowledge that, are they going to tell the whole truth? And when you have schools and stuff that says we don't want to talk about black history or we anti-woke and all that, well, this loans itself to that, because if you don't talk about the legal genocide, the legalized separation of it, then you're doing a disservice. So when I hear Josh Gibson's name brought up, and the legend lore is that he once hit a ball out of Yankee Stadium, he was an incredible talent. Let that be a reminder. Color of your skin is what kept it. Let that be a reminder that we're talking less than 100 years. 1947 was when the racial lines were broken. Major Baseball. So we're talking 83 years ago. Oh no, let me take that back. Let me do my math. Yeah, it'll be 80 years come 2027. So 83. Yeah, that's a lifetime. There are people who are 90 years old plus who did not get to see African Americans play in Major League Baseball. So let that sink in. Let that sink in. Let that be a reminder of it ain't that long ago. A lot of things that have come to be weren't that long ago. Before people get on this, well, that happened 100 years ago. No, this was within a lifetime. And it was Buck O'Neill and obviously Satchel Paige, who pitched forever and a day because of the color of their skin. In America with 3Ks against black people who were born and bred, who were tax-paying citizens, who served in military services, denied to play baseball. Let that sink in. So before people come up about, oh, we got morals about the steroid issues, or we got issues about gambling and amphetamines and all that, how about the issue of race? How about that? And that's the problem that they got. No black ownerships, hardly ever any black general managers, some black managers, no black ownership. Baseball is just as white as the ball. And it was America's pastime. It was considered that, but it's lost its lure because they never took care of the superstar and they didn't promote. And they had a good old boy mindset and they still do. So I'm not impressed. They're trying to appeal to something that they should have never had been about in the first place. How can a country ever call themselves free when they'll deny people equal opportunity to work, especially on the basis of the content of their skin color and when they were born and bred here? So Josh Gibson should be known. That should be mandatory. The Negro Leagues, because they were self-employed. They were a business brand in America, doing separate but equal Jim Crow era America. Think about that for a moment. That's where Hank Aaron came from. Think about it. People don't understand that it wasn't that long ago. And so when you work in corporate America, does it mean that you become corporate, but do you become equal partners? I don't think so. They let you work, but they haven't given up any black ownership. Or general manager or commissioner, just like the NBA. See, I'm gonna call it like it is. NFL too. I don't hear people come up to bombarding my messages with, well, there's a 70%, 78% playing. Everybody can be on the field, but how many people can call the shots? And before you ask, there have been many black folks who wanted to get that, but they have a group. They have a constituency of people that they only allow who they want to allow. So these owners can dictate who gets to be a fellow owner. And they don't go running with black folks unless they're tied to something. Like Magic Johnson has a token ownership with the Washington Commanders. You don't get to outright despite your money. Think about it. It's a club. It's a clique. It's like this own form of United Nations in sports. And it does tie to the Negro Leagues because I'm tying it all together to say that when you had your own thing, you didn't have to go to the middleman and you didn't have to go to the white side of town. You could have kept it right where you had it. And when they want to take the best of talent, they want to take it like a plantation, but they don't want you to come in and get ownership. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hand. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like them out. Peace.